There you go. First thing you think, you can go. You can go. You can go. He's committed trespass. He's been instructed to leave at least on 7 occasions. He refused to register the private directions. My wife and I both instructed him at least 7 times. That's it. You aware of that?
He actually has an order that says he can come on his property.
He needs a lawful excuse to get around that problem. And we didn't give one. And he hasn't got one.
He didn't even tell us.
He's got some
Before
paperwork.
this goes any further, it's really simple. He's aggravating me right now. Okay? I'm going to get all sorts of shit.
There's no point getting aggravated, right?
I am, and I'm sorry about that, but he needs to leave my property now. If you're not going to do it, this is being recorded, and I'm really fed up with you guys just making this bullshit, lay down fucking attitude.
He's got
all these debt collectors and criminals.
Yeah, so what the issue is unpaid rates. Okay, City of down Northam,
Do you have any
that's it.
judicial authority, mate?
Hey, just listen. Just
Okay,
got
mate.
one minute.
You don't know what that means?
Do you want to see my ID? Is it?
Yes, just let the mayor talk so we
Are
can
you able to
have
just
a
go back as a
conversation.
judge?
Well, I'm not a judge. No.
No, I'm not. I'm talking.
Okay, so what he...
Okay, can you say me your side?
Okay, what he's...
I want him to walk off the property. He's winning this hand because you won't support me and say you want him gone
I want him off, and I'll
Please
talk
ask
to
him
you.
to go.
All he
First-
wants to do...
No, I don't want to wait, and I don't need you to tell me to wait either. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm going to try and explain it to you why.
Chris, just let it.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to show you this.
So, he...
You need to come closer, you won't be picking that up. Come over here.
He doesn't want to take anything from the property. He just wants to make a couple of notes in 5 minutes on what assets are around the property.
Because it's actually a property sale and seizure from land.
Yep.
Okay, I have had
Apparently there's property as well.
No, there's
No.
not. No, there's not. They don't have that order.
No.
We've got a copy of the order there.
I've called the court. That's the.
He's
that's,
acting outside of his delegated authority
Chris,
as
just
a
wait.
bailiff.
Could you just let me
right?
talk? That's the property sale and seizure order
really-
that has been issued by the
I
court.
don't know why you don't stick up for the people.
Just listen. I have been in negotiations with the CEO of the Shire, and we've made $6,500 worth of repayments to the debt, and there is an agreement in place that they wouldn't go with the property sale and seizure order. So Jason, the CEO, should have gone and told the court that this is what our negotiation is. And I've got an email here with all the evidence of paying $6,500 over the last couple of months. So we're in payment arrangements with the Shire. And I don't appreciate this man coming onto my property when I've already negotiated a moratorium on this with the Shire.
The only reason we paid them was to avoid this very thing happening.
I'll give you, if you have all the
Can you
emails.
understand that?
I don't appreciate somebody coming onto my land and telling me what I have to do.
And the only reason he's sitting up the driveway now is to provoke me.
No, he's doing it.
Sorry, mate, you don't know that.
He's not doing his job because
He's not doing his job.
get him to ring
I'm asking you to
CEO.
say go and sit on the other side of the road in the car and get off my land. That's what I want you to do.
Go and ring the CEO, which
We've
is
asked him
you're
to sit up
saying
there
the
until we're given the go ahead to
client,
come onto the land after we spoke to you.
He's not coming on here until you get this.
Please listen to me.
They don't have an order for property. They have an order for seizure of land. That's been annulled by the discussion with the plaintiff, the CEO of the Shire of Northam, who has said that
Get him to read that. That's fine.
I don't
No,
want to have
I
a
want you to do it.
conversation with him. Okay, you're
He's
the
a criminal.
police, yeah? I have asked him to leave. I don't believe he
Have you
has
shown
any
him this paperwork
authority.
yet?
He did not even introduce himself to us. All he did was say to me, you come with me now. And I'm like, who are you? I'll tell you what happened. He was on the land first, drove around, he didn't come to the door, saw him at the top of the driveway, and I thought it was somebody who might have been lost. I
there
saw
was a
him.
cycling event on this weekend, so we had all sorts of
So I
out of
went to
town cars.
see if he needed some assistance or directions, and then he got out and was really
witnessed
aggressive
that,
to me
and
on
he
my
witnessed that.
land. I have rights.
If you
Okay.
think this paperwork trumps his paperwork, I'm more than happy to show him. He
Good.
can
Well,
read
I'm
it.
not having a conversation with him.
You don't have to. I'm
Good.
going to take it to him myself. I'll let him read the paperwork. I'll bring it straight back
Well,
to you.
before you do that, and then highlight to the officer exactly what it is that you're saying so that it can be relayed, and then we'll go and record what you tell him to make sure that you tell him what she said. All right.
I'm not going to give him the paperwork and let him read it himself.
Okay, so I have made $1,000 payment here.
Mm-hmm.
I then made another $2,500 payment here.
Yep.
Then there was a discussion with Jason, and I had made him an offer about a payment arrangement, and I paid him $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Made another $1,000. Okay, and this was the email the last one. Good afternoon, Anita, and thank you for your email and the payments which you've made, which are indicating to you resolving the outstanding issues.
Say that again because it wouldn't have been picked up on the microphone.
To
Please.
resolving the outstanding rate issue. It's actually not rates that they're charging, it's legal fees. Right? We've paid the rates,
And
it's
their
their
lawyers committed
lawyers' fee.
fraud in getting those as well. They put on
Hang
their
on, let
bill
me
of
just-
costs, just so you guys know, I want you to know this, they put on their bill of costs and presented it as an affidavit to the court that a person by the name of Kevin Property owning Kevin Shannon owning property in 2J Bakers Hill, right? Kevin Shannon, I'm Chris Shannon. So a totally different person with a totally different title to a piece of land. They put it on a bill of costs in relation to a case that against us, this case, okay? We made the. Can you turn that down, please? Really, really irritating. And then. Tell me when you finish with the other business, and I'll continue. This is just unreal.
Would you like me to show you this paperwork?
We had a
No, I need. Yeah.
Okay, let me just finish this, right? So they basically charged us legal
And
fees
he's
for
sitting on my
somebody
land.
else's
Thank you very much for
matter.
that.
So anyway, so getting back to this, so it says, in regards to your proposal, I would prefer to try and establish a monthly payment amount. However, with an agreement that in the event you are unable to meet the commitment, this is dated 27th of April, right? You'll advise us at least 1 week prior to the payment being made, and we can either accept a lesser amount or agree to defer the repayment. We'd also want an understanding that in the event an agreed number of payments were missed during a period, that council would reserve the right to recommence proceedings.
Recommence
Now, this
proceedings. This
payments
flows
have
from
been
legal
made,
proceedings. Are
right?
you
There
getting
is
that?
nothing that I've breached in regard to our agreement
Arrangement.
here.
Now,
In
Jason-
essence, I want to ensure that the current momentum we have to pay down the debt remains, and that regular payments continue
All right.
until the debt is fully paid.
Good. Now go to the
You happy with him to
go to
read
the
that?
fact sheet. No, go to the fact sheet, because it's actually the CEO's failure to do what he promised to do in there, which was to effectively bring a moratorium upon all of this while the matter gets resolved one way or another, financially or legally. He's allowed this monkey to turn up at my house and cause serious harm to my wife. We both have post-traumatic stress disorders. My doctor has told me, as a result of a fraudulent mortgage going on in your state called Supreme Court of this state, which is a disgrace, they should have been booted out 4 years ago.
What do you mean our Supreme Court?
Well, are you not
Supreme Court of
operating
Western
in the state
Australia.
of Western Australia?
Aren't you? Aren't you?
As
No,
in
I'm a
our-
member of the Commonwealth actually, and I resent the fact that I even live in this state. It's so disgusting.
Would you like me to show the
I'm
paperwork
telling you
to the
something that you need to understand.
No, I actually don't. I just need to show the
Well, you
paperwork to the
don't need to.
gentleman to see if he...
Okay, look.
So this is the.
Entering into an arrangement. If you and the judgment debtor, so if Jason, CEO of the Shire, enters into an arrangement for payment of the debt, you need to instruct the bailiff to return the
There it
property
is.
sale and seizure to the court.
You getting that?
Right? Jason hasn't done that,
Jason
and
has
this is
caused
what's happened
this,
today.
and it's serious harm
No worries. Won't be long.
Bullshit.
because of our serious medical conditions. Okay. I know you don't give a shit, but that's what it is.
But I still want this person
Yeah, I want him off
charged
the
with
property, and we want him
trespass.
charged with trespass.
I asked him to
7 times he
leave.
was asked to leave. 7 times he ignored the order. 7 times he needs to be charged. Yep.
I don't want him on our land. I
He's
asked
going
him
to
to
pay for this.
leave.
And Jason Whittaker's going to get
What happens the actual court order, overrules any emails, any correspondence or whatever. If there's an issue, basically between the judgment debtor and the courts, he's quite within his rights to take that to court and set aside the judgment, which will then set aside the seizure order.
What date was that made?
That one's made 2nd of November 15. Regardless of any correspondence or whatever after, that's purely an email. It's not a court order.
Right. So you're basically going to this stamp on any paperwork.
Absolutely. It has to be
as we do when we
it
have
has to be a
summons
sealed
anyone.
court order.
Yep.
It is a sealed court order. All this does is empowers me to enter the property, put goods under seizure. If then it turns out that there's a dispute between the judgment debtor and judgment creditor or whatever, they take it before a magistrate and the magistrate rules.
Okay.
The magistrate's the only one who can overrule a seizure order.
Yep. Okay.
So,
You want to explain that to them? Obviously, introduce yourself first,
of course,
and then take it from there.
no worries.
I'm asking you to leave. As the registered owner, I'm asking you to leave. You're trespassing. Please go. Your authority as a Baycorp corporate person doesn't cut it around your house. There it is. We got that? Do you work you paid by Baycorp? You're paid by Baycorp.
Excuse me, back off.
Yeah, get out of my
Back
face
off.
for
I don't
starters.
need you to have
Get out of my
attitude
face.
like that.
From that end, I've got a
Speak
court
like
order.
a human being, and then this
Me,
would
man.
not have
Excuse
happened.
me. Excuse me.
You have a massive attitude
You
problem.
do, and that's why you wouldn't knock on the door when you came. You snuck around once, and we're going to video it, and so you could go back to the office and say,
Can I
"Let me
speak
finish."
for a second? His issue is he doesn't believe you have the authority to come onto the land, a property. He believes it's a land seizure, not the property.
It is a land seizure.
Thank
So
you.
get out of here, Terry.
He said as well.
No, it isn't
No,
as
it's
well.
not,
I
Terry.
have
Read
a
the
court
order. We've got the order, pal.
Look, land,
Read it.
dude.
Just read it. Just read it.
I'm not here to lecture.
All right, Terry, you
right?
think you've got a position?
Yep.
Let's hear it. Show me where it
Okay.
says you can seize personal property
Basically-
under the order made by the court.
Basically, there's the seizure notice.
What does it say?
Of the thing.
No, read it. Read
This
it so the
income-
office can get it. I want it on the recording over there, and I want the officers to understand
You
what
can
it
get
says.
your own legal judgment on that
Terry,
one.
just do what you're told, mate. You're on my property.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, you do. You
And
do.
I'm
You
quite
need to.
entitled to be. Hang
No,
on,
you're
I'll
not.
just complete the seizure order on it.
Can you just stop him from
If
it? Can you just arrest him?
You understand that? So stay
Can you
here.
arrest him? You're out of your mind. I don't get this. I so don't get this.
You're instructing me to be arrested. You understand that?
No, I don't understand that, actually. Sorry, I don't.
Well, you stay here.
Anita,
So,
maybe they didn't explain
to be charged.
what you explained to the police officers. They didn't do it
This
verbatim.
empowers us to enter
When you
the
What
spoke
did
to
he
them.
say then? Excuse me. We had a conversation here that he was going to relay some information to you.
No, I told you I was going to show him the paperwork and let him read
You didn't
Then
point
am I
to
relaying
the part.
information
You
that
can-
I
you
have
can tell him
given
what
to
you like.
I have already gone into negotiations with your client, which is the CEO of the Northam Shire, and we have made a payment arrangement.
Sure.
Okay? Now, he hasn't obviously advised Baycorp, okay? But I have email communications of the relationship. My suggestion to you is to ring your client.
Yep.
Now, it's Sunday, okay? You go and ring your client and you ask your client whether we have a negotiation, and he has agreed to stop this.
I don't disbelieve you.
Good.
Okay.
We have it in writing, so you
Having said that, right,
Can read it for
a
yourself.
seizure order, once it's in the system, empowers us to enter the property. If I'm not touching anything, I'm not taking anything, all I'm doing is going to go inside.
You're not
Well,
going
shit, you
inside,
and
you
no,
no
well, I want
way.
them arrested.
No
Well, arrest me.
way.
Let's
Instructing
do
the
that.
officer. Oh, well, I can't. The police will.
You're not an
not
officer. You work for
going into my
Baycorp. Your salary's from Baycorp,
I'm
isn't
a
it?
He's not allowed to go in
I want to know who
our
pays you, pal.
You know,
That's
it's
none of your
it
business.
fucking matters a lot, and
Do you
I
know
know
that
who
he's
it
not
is,
allowed
mate.
in our house?
You work for
You are not
Baycorp.
allowed in the house.
I am a bailiff and a sheriff.
You might have- you
appointed
might have a
by
card.
the Attorney General.
The fact
right,
remains, the person that pays your salary is a corporation by the name of Baycorp.
who have got the bailiff.
Right? You're
and
not a
sheriff's
public
contract.
service
No, I'm
officer.
not here to argue
You're
with you.
not in part of the
So
public
how
service.
about we're doing your land anyway?
Good,
right?
then
So
that's
the land's
it.
done.
Okay, let's have a
Right?
look at the judgment
Okay.
debt. My
Not-
property is worth
You know
over
what?
$600,000.
That's fine.
At the moment, if you have a look at this, $3,992. I've paid $6,500 onto that.
Okay, that's
Then
fine.
the land in its entirety is worth more than the judgment debt.
Okay, well,
I am not permitting you to go into my home.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be noting that.
Good.
Okay, that's fine. I won't make an issue of that. What I'll do is I'll leave you a copy
You
of this
don't have
form
any legs, do you?
26.
You don't have an order
Leave
for
your
personal
form.
property. Show me the
Course
bit that it
we
says.
do,
I want to
mate.
see where it says personal property. You haven't showed it
Mate,
to me.
hey.
No,
a
I need to see it, Terry. I know what the
property
Act says, and it talks about that they have. No, listen to me. The Local Government Act says that they have the right to get orders in relation to land.
And
No,
property.
you abuse the law. I'm sorry, my friend.
Okay,
you
well,
are
take it
very
up with your
mistaken.
magistrate.
Leave me the
Take it
documents.
You are
I
very.
will.
I'll take it to a
I will.
federal
And then
court.
you're
That's
not
what I'm taking
welcome
because I
to
can't
into
trust
my
any
home.
of the WA
Seizure and sale order
magistrates.
on, good. They
not-
don't.
Property sale and seizure order. Show me.
know you
No,
can.
I wanted to see the bit that says personal property.
It's-
Where is it?
Mate, it's a
Where is
property
it?
seizure and sale order which empowers us to enter.
land.
No, it's not. It's
Where's-
land as
yeah,
well.
that's right, land. It's only
you-
for land, Terry.
No,
It's not for
mate,
personal
no,
property.
you know what?
You're
Of
mistaken.
course it is.
Your paperwork proves it, and you're just hanging on to some
Let me-
deluded belief that you think, because you've done this to so many people beforehand, that you're going to get away with it today. Your order says land.
Let me tell you, what the magistrate requires is us to enter the
Which
region-
magistrate? Which
the
magistrate?
region-
No, which
The
magistrate?
magistrate's court.
Which one? You seem to know that
Go
the
and
magistrate
see the
requires something.
registrar.
No, buddy.
They would
Mate,
come
I'm
in.
not
They
here.
sued under the
Their
Local
property
Government Act, and the Local Government Act does not give them the position,
I see
the
it?
power to get orders for personal property.
Right, all
I'm
I've
sorry,
done
this is
note
the
that
law.
vehicle
Can we
over
sort
there.
this out before he
That's
does
not
anything
yours.
else?
We can't touch it
It's not
anyway.
mine.
Can we
right?
please stop
But
him
I
from doing
will
any more
be-
damage?
He's about to leave. He's,
Good.
I
He's
think
going to
he's
get
done.
into a real mess in a minute.
I will.
Oh, you
Did you
see?
see? Did you
This
get that?
is not funny,
Hey,
mate.
What's funny about it, Terry?
But
I want to
I'm
know what the
going to
joke
get
is,
in
mate.
trouble. I'm
What is the
funny.
joke?
I'm trying to
What is
tell
the joke?
you
No, I want to know
my
what you
powers
thought was
are.
so funny right there.
Okay, right.
Please explain it.
Mate,
What was
forget
funny?
it. Here's
What was
your-
funny?
Here's the thing, okay?
You're just taking pleasure in it, I take it.
Not at all.
Very
Not at
perverse
all,
sense of humour, Terry. What was your surname?
Mate, none of your
No, show me your card. It is my business. You're here on my
it's
property.
not.
Look,
I've
can
showed
you tell
you
him to give
the-
me his ID?
You haven't got it. You can't
Are
ask
you
me
serious?
my
You're not going
name.
to do that either?
You've got no entitlement
Really?
to
Oh
it.
my
Drugs
God.
or
Seen
something,
that?
aren't you?
You've
Really?
got no entitlement
What crack
to
do you
ask.
smoke?
I've showed
need a
you
better
my
deal, mate.
ID.
You're
Hey,
talking about money, okay? I haven't killed
I want
somebody.
your
I
name on-
have
is your name on that piece
rights.
of paper?
I want his ID.
no, it's not.
Okay.
Could you get it, please? Because I want it.
Terry Kerr is my name.
K-E-R-R?
That's the one. There's the thing.
Terence Kerr.
Yep, that's
You'll
the
see
one.
me again, pal. Don't
Oh,
worry
good,
about that.
good.
In a courtroom, federal
Okay.
wise.
Oh well, we're going to be short through that anyway.
You think?
Seriously.
What are you on, mate? You
Okay,
are so
so
out of
I'm
order.
just
as
a
a
provocateur.
reality.
That's what you
Should've done
are.
That's
something
your
about
form
this.
26.
Make
Such a
it-
disappointment.
Okay.
I
I'm going
want
to
to
make a
complaint
complaint
right now.
to his boss.
Yeah,
I
about
want to
I
make a complaint.
certainly
You're
will.
an officer of the peace.
You're
He's
quite-
breaching the peace, as you can see.
You're
You're
quite
witnesses
within,
to
you're
it.
quite within
Don't
your
you
right.
tell
He's
me, you're not a
trespassing
lawyer,
against
and I
orders.
don't need
Set
you
that
to tell
judgment
me
aside.
what my
Okay.
rights
He
are. I
doesn't
know
have an
my
order
rights.
for personal property, as he's proven to you, and you're standing there doing nothing about it.
That's
You are fantastic, you guys.
You're in the shit too.
Well,
Okay.
Well,
they swear
like
an
I
oath to
said,
uphold
Terry,
the rule of law.
it's money,
The first,
okay?
the
I have
first
already
order,
entered
the
into
first order of the police
negotiations
force is
with
to
your
uphold
client
law and
to pay
order.
this off.
Okay,
It's
that's
the only
fine.
order
That
that they
is
have.
Form
it.
26 is affected now, so basically, I can't advise you legally what to do. I'm not a
You
solicitor.
can't fucking tell me to
Okay?
do anything.
Oh, that's
I've already rang the Sheriff's Department and asked them their opinion on what are my rights. I've spoken to the Department of the Attorney General
Okay.
to find out what my rights are.
Fine.
Okay, you can
Well,
hand me a piece of paper,
Which I
but
have, yes.
there is already an agreement with the Shire, who is your client. Okay,
You act
he
as
should
their
have
agent.
notified you of a payment arrangement.
That's,
That's not my
That's for you to
problem.
sort.
That's
It's
your
not
It's your
problem.
internal
That you
housekeeping.
will have to work
You've
with.
got a problem there
with
that'll bite you on the ass, I
Jason
promise you.
Whittaker.
okay, all the best. Thanks very much for your time.
Get off my property. You're trespassing.
Now, in your own personal capacity,
Thanks,
you can
folks.
get off.
Appreciate your time.
See you later.
Yeah, well, there's real crime
Now
being
I'd like to
committed.
make a complaint.
Hey, Terry, you got a sec? I'll meet you in a sec.
No, I don't.
I'll just give you our details.
I would like to make a formal complaint to the police about what just happened and the
Yeah.
prior incident which led
We
to
have
this.
we have no power to charge him with trespass
Why not?
because of the form he's got in his hand, which gives him the power to
It
come
doesn't.
onto the land.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, you're wrong.
Misreading the
It's so
legislation
wrong.
there.
Okay. Well, I'll look into
Okay,
that.
because before he served the paperwork,
He
he was
didn't
told
even
to leave.
identify
He hadn't
himself.
identified himself. He hadn't provided a lawful excuse, which was the two things that he needed to do. And then he was told to leave because he was trespassing. He refused the order. He can't even drop the paperwork at that stage. Are you getting this?
And if you wanted to give
I
paperwork,
don't
all
believe
he has to
it's
do is
committing
go back
offence,
to
but
the
I'll
court
look
and
into
get a
what you're saying.
substituted
Okay.
method of
He's
service
really
when you're asked
disappointing. Sorry.
Do you
So
know?
you want him to-
Really,
you want me to put him
really
in handcuffs
disappointing.
and put him in a police car and take him away right now? Is
I
that
don't mind if you want to arrest him with handcuffs or not. I wanted you. All I simply asked you to do was ask him
I'm
to put his
telling
car
you.
on the other side of the road.
telling
But
you.
you wanted to provoke me by
No, I'm
allowing
not.
him to stay. You knew that I wanted him off the property. You knew that I had valid arguments. I can show you what the Criminal Code of Western Australia says about trespass. Right? Would you like to read that so
And
you
it
can
also
inform
says in
yourself?
a
Because
High
clearly
Court
none of you
ruling-
are informed
I'll
about
read
it.
it when I get
Yeah,
back.
and in
No,
a
you
High
won't.
Court ruling, it actually says that if you revoke, there's a public licence for anybody to come onto property, but if you revoke that public licence, that person must leave. And not even the Queen can actually disregard that order.
Do you know that? That's the High
Right?
Court.
I'm sorry.
That was
is-
Justice
that-
Kirby in the High Court of Australia saying that. Right? So you want to argue with us? That's fine. You're now arguing with Michael
Yeah, I
Kirby.
think we're finished.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing nothing, guys. Really good to know the boys in blue are
We
there.
don't see you again because we don't
Yeah,
like
me
not
too.
criminals. We
Me
don't
too,
do
trust
things
me.
that are wrong, mate. It's
The
ridiculous.
two people here are more community orientated and law abiding than anybody that you've probably met in the last 12 months, and this is the way we get treated by the police.